Hey there, Breakfast Clubbers! Welcome to another week's episode of Back Issue Breakfast Club. I'm your host, Kelly Guentner of Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, and this podcast is part of the Back of the Cereal Box Podcast Network. This week, Superman Birthright. I chose this book because recently a friend of mine was talking about the show Invincible, and he made the comment that the only time he finds Superman interesting is when he is being deconstructed as a character and turned on his head as a trope. And I was like, well, you're wrong. This character has a lot of layers that a lot of time don't make it into common media for Superman. So, if you've never read a Superman book, or if you have read a Superman book and just have never connected with the character, this is the book that I would urge you to read. Now, Superman fans may argue with me. I'm not going to say this is the best Superman book ever written. That is up for debate. But this is a really good starting point for Superman. This is a great origin story. It's one of those origin stories that is recognizable. It is true to the heart of the character and the heart of where they come from, but it also feels new, and it just adds to the mythos of the character, and it tells an interesting story. Let me tell you a little about Superman. Now, obviously, he's looms pretty large. He's one of the first costume superheroes, and he has influenced so much that we kind of take him for granted. But this character has so much going on that, again, sometimes gets lost when you're just watching a 2-hour movie that the writers don't have time to dig into. So this character is the last of his race. So we've got kind of the immigrant who is coming to a new land, learning new culture, learning to make his way. He is an adopted child. So we've got the adopted child who is grappling with issues of identity. He is someone who was raised in middle America in Kansas. So he's got his Kansas values, and then he goes to the big city and is grappling with how those values interconnect, how they clash. And then we've got this character with the powers of a god who's raised by humble farmers and who is at his heart very kind. And it's just a really interesting juxtaposition in the character, and his supporting cast is really great too. Lois Lane was ahead of her time when she was first written. She's not the damsel in distress that a lot of people like to think she is. She is a pretty forward-thinking feminist icon of a character. Yes, I'm using the F word, and not not the F word that you might think of. But this character just has a lot of story to dive into, and this book does a really good job of digging into so many layers of story. This came out around the same time as Smallville was out, and it used one of the more interesting things that Smallville did, which was putting Lex Luthor in Smallville at the time when Clark Kent was growing up, and it kind of played with that a little. This book does a good job of explaining the glasses as a disguise, because obviously that's poked fun at a lot, and explains that Clark uses acting techniques to like completely change his demeanor, his posture, his voice, which is really interesting, and it really just digs into who this character is, why he is the way he is, while also telling a compelling narrative as he's on his way to becoming the hero that we all know and love, or maybe feel lukewarm about. And the art is really just gets the character expressions really well. It's just fun. It's got a lot of movement to it, a lot of, like you can see here, Lois being just sassy and bold and brash. You've got this panel is just, this is literally how Lex sees Superman, I think. And so you have Superman being extremely menacing, just this extreme presence. And then Lex just doing his maniacal laughter. And these are just great, really great character-driven pieces. So Mark Waid wrote this. Again, I'm on a Mark Waid and Kelly Thompson kick. I promise I'm going to give other writers the spotlight. I'm probably going to butcher this name, but Lenil Francis Yu and Jerry Alongwin did the art. Just did a fantastic job. I haven't really seen anything else that they've done, but I really need to look into it because I love the art. If you're a longtime Superman fan, you're going to love this book. If you've never really gotten on board the Superman train, I still urge you to give this book a read and give Superman one more chance and try it out. Or if you've always been curious about reading a Superman comic and haven't known where to start, this is a good place to start. It's a story that it tells a complete story, start to finish. You don't need to know any prior history going into it, which is always a good place to start if you don't know where to start. And it's just, I cannot say enough good things about this book. I really love this book. One of my top favorite comics. As you can see, this copy is a little faded, a little dog-eared. It's a well-loved copy from my bookshelf. Hence, yeah. I want to hear from you, as always. Tell me what your favorite Superman stories are. Tell me what you think of Superman. Tell me what you're reading this week. Tell me if there are any other characters that you really dislike, and maybe I'll see if I can change your mind. Also do the thing and like, share, again, comment. Love hearing from you all. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Happy reading!